Yes. These numbers up there at the top.
Okay, well, welcome back to Happy Valley. And as I was telling Chuck, I had a situation maybe about 10 weeks ago where I was at the Herrera Boxing Gym, Central El Paso. Walked outside to take a little bit of a break between hammering on the heavy bag, and I noticed there was a police officer that was wrestling with a very large suspect. So I approached about 20 yards out. I asked the officer, "Do you need some assistance?" He said, "You better believe I need some help." And he had him from behind, but he was having trouble securing the handcuffs. So I jumped in, grabbed the guy's arm. We got him hooked up correctly, and then I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, we're fine, we're good to go." Later on, it took about 20-25 minutes for backup to arrive, and I found out the gentleman was a combination fire marshal and also police officer. The suspect was accused of setting a fire. He busted up a good friend of mine's scooter, who parked his scooter right there in the alleyway, which not a good idea. This is kind of a stereotypically boxing gyms are in very, very bad areas. You know, barbed wire, have crazy pit bulls running around. So anyway, that was that. And then maybe about 2 months later, I got a call from chief of the El Paso Fire Department and wanted to invite me to an awards ceremony at a very nice location over by the Marriott Hotel. And of course I was surprised and I was honored, and it was one of the greatest nights of my life. All the chiefs were there in their dress blues. We had the women in their very elegant evening gowns, and I was given an award, a medal, and then also a beautiful certificate. So it just lets us know that we as citizens really need to support our first responders. What do you think about that, Chuck?
Well, I can tell you, I don't have the temperament to step in and do what you do. I would try to help, but he probably bounced me right off the bat. So I think that I'm glad it was you and not me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it was your calling for sure. I think that that officer might have been hurt pretty bad. Apparently, he's a pretty huge man.
He was a really big guy, and I could tell he was probably high on meth or crack, which of course gives you another 100% power and strength. And my main concern on the incident was that the would-be perpetrator was going to grab the cop's gun and turn it on him.
Can you imagine?
That was the thing I was very concerned about.
Yeah.
But hopefully everything turned out well. And the part that really struck me was that when I walked across that stage and I looked into those fire chief's eyes, and they looked at me with appreciation and real sincerity.
Wow.
These are really stand-up men, and we need more men like this in this society, which unfortunately has gone so soft on crime. There's so many problems, throughout the country. But it was a wonderful evening, and we need to be good citizens, and we need to help one another out, and that's what I think is really important.
Well, it is. I think we take this opportunity first to celebrate that event, second to honor you for what you did, and it just doesn't happen very often. I'm very proud.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. I really do appreciate that. And I guess the next thing that we're looking forward to is we're going to have some kind of a lunch here at Happy Valley. Now, I don't know what it's going to be. What do you think? Steak and lobster?
I think it is.
Filet mignon?
Both.
I'm just going to have to make sure these characters, these cooks, cook it medium rare.
Oh, there you
How do
go.
you like your steaks?
Medium well.
Oh, you go medium well. Oh,
That's because a lot of places will not cook medium rare anymore.
okay.
They just won't do it because of the risk for them.
Oh,
So
okay.
they just do medium well, they always happy.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
So what any meaningful events or experiences that you went through over the weekend?
Well, I was really missing the bingo, and the Price is Right. I was
I
missing.
tell you, I started feeling withdrawals. I wanted to hear the N25.
There you go. There you go.
I was really having some psychological issues because bingo is such an important part of my life.
You know, it's important because it tells us where we're not. Thank God.
My goodness gracious! I
might
tell you,
be-
so let me tell you, Chuck. If you ever find me in a bingo hall
Shoot me
playing bingo, please send me to death row.
death row.
And I don't even want a last meal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, when things get to that position, because I don't want to be.
And if you ever see me on The Price is Right,
Oh yeah, I see you.
you'll know that I have gone way beyond, way over the edge. And the show's over.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of that. You know what? I tell you something, Chuck. When I watch something like The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal, and I see these people, I guess I don't know what kind of drugs they're taking. I really don't know, but it reminds me of my favorite movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Oh
Nest.
yeah. Oh yeah.
The great film with Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
And you know, Danny DeVito was in that.
Yeah, he was.
And he actually had hair. Yeah,
Well, now we are that age. We are that generation.
it's you know, one of my favorite movies with Armand Assante and Anthony Quinn, Gotti, the story of John Gotti, the great, they called him the Teflon Don out of, and I got some stories about him, and I got some stories about the infamous Sammy Gravano, but that'll be for a later podcast.
Yes.
But Anthony Quinn, who was portraying Anel Della Croce, was on his deathbed, and he was dying of cancer. And John Gotti, played by Asante, was help feeding him because he was having a lot of trouble swallowing. And I'll never forget Anthony Quinn, one of my favorite actors. He said, "You know, John, this whole thing lasts about 5 minutes. All the girls, the cars, the money. Here I am on my deathbed."
Wow.
Tells you a lot about life. They say life is like a roll of toilet paper. The more that comes off,
Yeah.
the faster it goes.
That's true. And the key is that we're there. And thank you for talking to me about that event.
My pleasure.
And we will have very frequent podcasts to post. But for right now, I'm going to go to say goodbye and let's let it go for another day.
Sounds great.
All right.
I'll see you later.